So I grew up, my family has a ranch in Central Texas, and so I grew up spending a lot of time in the outdoors and was always interested in science, but it wasn't until I was at university that I actually realized you could do a career in this, and so I switched my major from chemistry to field biology, ecology, and started doing research on climate change and issues in the tropics. So I did my undergraduate degree. I got a bachelor's of science in biology at the University of Texas in Austin. And after that, I went to the University of California in Davis and I did a PhD in ecology. And after that, I did a postdoc, which is a 2-year sort of training period after getting a PhD. I did that at Harvard University, where I was an environmental fellow, and then I came here. So one of my first field experiences was working at a summer camp where I was leading environmental education for elementary school, middle school age students. So we talked a lot about restoration ecology. One of the issues there is trying to restore native riparian and prairie communities. So that was sort of my very first kind of field experience. And when I was an undergraduate, I was able to serve as a field assistant for a graduate student working in Costa Rica in Corcovado National Park, which was an amazing introduction to the tropics and all of the amazing biodiversity there. And for my PhD, I did a lot of field work in Australia in the rainforest there. As well as a little bit in Yosemite National Park. So I've been really fortunate. The field work is a really fun part of what we get to do, so it's nice to have been able to do some of those things. My research is focused on predicting how species respond to changes in climate, changes in the environment, but specifically looking at changes in climate. And I look at that over a sort of broad time scale, so sort of how have species responded over the last 100 years, and also how have species responded over the last thousands of years for climate change. And so I do that using a combination of geographic information systems, spatial data and models, as well as data that comes from museums, so observational records from museums, and also genetic data as well.